Now, up next is a first look at the gameplay of Dune Awakening,
Yes!
the open-world survival MMO, and news on when it's going to be released.
No way! They're gonna give a release date as well? That's insane. Whoa.
Awaken.
Funcom has released, we've just seen the Dune Awakening first reveal during Gamescom. Live reveal, we didn't get to pause it or anything. Funcom has put their own reveal, as to be expected, on their YouTube page now an hour ago, so they've just dropped the video on its own, the 5-minute segment of the Dune Awakening gameplay reveal. So we can actually break this one down a little bit, pause it and stuff, and take a closer look. My hype levels are pretty high. This might bring us back down to earth a little bit. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's take a look. Let's break it down a little bit more.
There is another path for you. Awaken.
You begin as a nameless prisoner.
Yeah, so if you've been following Dune so far, you would have seen the character creator reveal. Nothing new here from what I can tell, from what we've seen before. Confirmed there's no dong slider in Dune Awakening. Arm thickness, leg thickness, all day. Penis thickness? Not a chance. Not this time. They said they want to respect the Dune universe. I don't think the Herbert estate would be happy about Muad'Dib having a dong slider. Sorry, you can set those expectations to rest.
Sculpt your appearance, choose your background, and then
Sculpt your penis.
crash into the planet. You are abandoned and alone. Hunted by sandworms. Scorched.
Instantly, you can see the difference between the pre-rendered segments of this moment in the game versus what we're seeing now, the gameplay. The first thing I kind of noticed, right? It looks like they haven't turned anti-aliasing on. I'm assuming that is, again, a beta thing. They haven't got all the full suite of graphical effects in the game yet to turn on and improve it. I guess, is my cope for this. And again, starting out, the classic sort of survival MMORPG, starting out like Rust, for example, right? You start on a beach. They do this in all survival games. You start out shipwrecked somewhere. You have to find your way through the environment, collect up basic supplies. Did it with Last Oasis. You know, this is a very common trope in these kind of games. Also, you can see sunstroke is immediately a danger. They've said that you're going to have to, like, sun and water are going to be the main things you need to manage. Shelter, sun, water, shelter to keep you out of the sun. Obviously, water to keep you alive. I'm guessing that's the water meter right there.
Unforgiving sun, ravaged by sunstroke.
Yeah, heat exhaustion. Arrakis is a desert planet. If you spend too long in the open, your water will be lost faster. Get out of the sun to recover. Yeah, you need to get a still suit. So I guess in the beginning, you probably start off like this, you know, shipwrecked pleb, and then you eventually acquire a still suit. Hope you last longer. Factor 50. Don't forget the SPF 50. Yeah.
Stick to the shade. Chase the moving shadows. Survive. Welcome to Arrakis.
This looks incredible to me.
The
Like,
most dangerous planet in the universe.
looks good.
Meet hundreds of other players in the vast online world.
Trike.
Befriend or betray those you meet. Form a wary alliance. In this case, a spit dart rifle.
This is cool. So this is the first time we've seen the inventory and the character sheet. They've got the classic sort of MMO green, blue, purple, no doubt yellow rarity levels of items, which again I'm all for. Another workhorse of a weapon, the Jabal spit dart is of simple construction and easy to clean, which makes it a favorite on dusty Arrakis. Good to get through them shields, exactly, right? Yeah. So the darts play a heavy part in the Dune universe. Help you get through those Holtzman shields and all that. And then obviously the character sheet, yeah, standard stuff.
And a still suit for your help taking down territorial deserters. Working with others will always increase your chance of staying alive.
Again, this must be old gameplay because a lot of the footage we're seeing, they already showed us screenshots of this exact footage. For example, that trike moving through that valley there, we've already seen. It's like, I don't know, I wonder if this is old footage still. Would be weird that it is, but when they first revealed the gameplay screenshots, they showed us, I'm pretty sure, maybe it wasn't exactly this actually, but there are elements from this video that we've seen in screenshots already, which makes me wonder if this is old footage.
Of staying alive.
Yes,
the deserter
Klaus.
base. Climb to a vantage point and prepare for violence. Your choice of weapons and abilities determines your strategy.
Now this is fresh footage.
Swordmasters lead the charge into battle, literally. Repel ranged attacks with a shield and then take them out.
Yeah, super cool. First time we're seeing the actual Holtzman Shield in action as well. The personal shield.
Repel ranged attacks with a
Personal shield, the Swordmaster had it as well.
shield and then take them out, one by one. Deploy
Guessing
the
these are just
Hunter Seeker
NPCs.
and kill from the shadows. Take what you can from the fallen. On Arrakis, nothing of value is wasted.
The mobility seems really good, which is really important for a game like this.
To build
The map is so big, there's so much terrain, there's so many different vantage points you can reach. You need ways to get down and up them quite easily. It was the same with Last Oasis, where you had the grapple hook. It really just makes playing in such a big environment much more enjoyable when you don't always have to rely on some sort of mount to move around. Like if you're on foot, you feel hopeless and feel like going anywhere is just a chore. But if you have like the ability to, you've got the suspensors, right? You can float a bit. You've got the grappling hook. You got the ability to move around a little bit better. It just makes the game feel a bit more fun and accessible just to play.
bases and unlock more advanced equipment.
Yeah, the grapple
like
hook
the
made
blood
Last
purifier.
Oasis. It really did.
Refine the blood you collected from your enemies to extract drinkable water. Craft improved equipment using fabricators. Replicate your bases in new locations with the blueprint system. And then sell blueprints of your architectural wonders to other players. Lead
The building
your group
looks-
to become a guild.
Again, I
On
said this
Arrakis,
during-
a nameless prisoner can rise.
I said this during the first reveal, just now during the Gamescom Live. I like that this building looks quite simplistic. I think they made a good choice there. The blueprint system allows you basically to just place this entire hologram down and then you just fill in the pieces as you're seeing here. And you can share that. Once you build something and you like the way it looks, you can save that blueprint. You can give it to somebody else and they can build an exact replica of that somewhere else. So you could essentially give blueprints to your friends or you could sell them to people as well. So these guys are just building from a blueprint at this point. They're not just like freestyling it. Because I'm not a big builder guy when it comes to survival games. That's like my least favorite part of them. I'm not seeing this. You guys are saying that it's got like low poly. It looks low poly. I don't know if it looks like Unreal Engine 5. I don't have enough experience with it, I guess. It definitely something looks a bit like amiss with the edges of everything. Like it looks sharp. It doesn't look like it's softened anyway. Like to my eye, layman's terms, it looks like anti-aliasing isn't turned on. Looks like UE4, everything is flat. Yeah, I get that sense. It looks a bit like everything's flat, whereas the screenies we've seen and the sort of pre-rendered stuff we've seen doesn't give that impression. It doesn't look bad. It looks good. Just something looks
Take to the air.
slightly
The
off.
world is yours to claim.
This is Dune reminding you to vary your route. Return with the full spy slot. My crew found a shortcut we become
The
comfortable.
Ingame Radio provides insight into key events happening across Arrakis. Map the desert. Discover landmarks, wrecked ships, and desert testing stations filled with forgotten technology.
Look, once you get up in that Ornithopter, the map does seem huge, and this is just one basin of the many different basins you can travel through across the game world, basically. I'm just going to go back here and take a look. And when he builds the Ornithopter, there's a few. How many sections does it have?
Construct an Ornithopter.
It's got like a main chassis, then you build the
And
wings.
take to the air. The world
Cockpit.
is yours.
Not many sections to it. Again, sort of get that Last Oasis vibe when you build a walker. Similar to that, you place down the shell and then you just add on the pieces, and there you go. I feel like Ornithopters aren't going to be too hard to get and build. I feel like they want lots of people to be able to use them. How big are the maps? How persistent are they? The maps are, what did they say? How many kilometers did they say? To give like a reference point. I can't remember the exact size they listed, but I think they said it would take like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to cross the survival maps in an Ornithopter. Maybe more than that. There are basically loads of survival maps, PvE maps, with PvP, with a bit of PvP in them as well, I believe, strewn across the game world. And each map is essentially like its own shard, I believe, right? And then you can travel between the shards using the overworld map. So when you get into an Ornithopter, if you fly off to the edge of the map or fly off to the exit point on the map, you enter like an overland map. And at the overland map, you can see the entire game world and all the different shards within the game world. You can fly between them and enter. And each one of the shards is one of these big zones, basically. The deep desert maps, I think there is still some PvP in some of these maps, Scornio, but the deep desert map is all PvP. Or it's like open PvP. So the deep desert map is like where everybody goes, 500 players or so, to get the best rewards, the best spice. The best spice. It's where you get the best stuff, the best rewards, make the best money. You fight other players for control of it. And every week, the deep desert completely resets and wipes. And the map rebuilds anew, basically. Whether it's procedural or whether it's the devs go in and do something every now and then. But basically, every week, the deep desert resets. So if one org or faction or people really like lock it down, the Coriolis storm blows through and it resets the whole map. So you get like this fresh element to it over and over again.
Yours to claim.
This is Dune Man.
Bit like Last Oasis, but different. I love this idea that you have to kind of listen into the Harvester radio. I'm guessing that's your Harvester, like not other people's.
My crew found a shortcut. We become
The in-game radio provides insight into key events happening across Arrakis.
I guess PvE events, world
Map
events.
the desert.
Okay, so this again is the map of this is called, so Hagga Basins South is the zone he's in. They're called Hagga Basins. And these are the starter zones / PvE zones where you kind of like find your footing, build up. You can build a base in these zones. And just kind of do your basic day-to-day survival gameplay here. Explore PvE, dungeons and things. And then, yeah, if you fly to like the edge of the map, that's how you enter the big overland map. That's where you can go and visit other shards, other Hagga Basins. And each one of them appears to be pretty big.
Discover landmarks, wrecked ships, and desert testing stations.
See the highliner in the sky as well.
Filled with forgotten technology. Arrakis is a vast planet. You can explore unique locations, uncover valuable resources, and search for secrets amongst the shifting dunes. And then, return to civilization triumphant with what you've found. Harko Village throngs with people, spice traders.
Little bit aware of the fact they haven't shown you things that you're going to go and find and salvage and retrieve. Just lots of, almost CIG-like marketing where they're like, you go here and find these things and explore great vast riches. Come back victorious with your wares. You know what I mean? They could have shown us all that if it was ready, I guess. So maybe it isn't. Maybe there's not a lot to show us in that regard. I do know that, there's Beam Citizen in this for Kate. Yeah, you use a beam to cut rock. So there's obviously crafting in the game, and the resources that you find it's ore for the most part. Minerals, rocks. You break them down with a beam cutter. I think it's also how you salvage, funnily enough. You can break salvage off like wrecked up ornithopters and vehicles. 2 beams at least. So yeah, there is beam gameplay. Yeah, there is beam gameplay for you Star Citizen fans out there.
Guild bankers, smugglers, house envoys, and of course, other players. Here, you will pledge allegiance to one of the great houses of Dune, the Harkonnen.
The Harkonnen aesthetic is here. They've nailed
remember,
that, I think.
To play politics, you need power. And on Arrakis, spice is power. In the deep desert, beyond the shield wall, hundreds of players scour the landscape.
The armor, though, that looks sick. I was a bit worried about how your gear would look, and if it's going to look stupid, in the sense they have to give you that feeling of you're wearing bigger and better gear, that MMORPG feeling. I was worried it was going to start to just look stupid potentially. This looks like they've nailed the aesthetic of the armor here, the gear. So far, I haven't seen anything that's letting me down. Yeah. There's carryals, so you can fly the carryals, and I believe they're multi-crew as well. So you can have one or two people on them. I call it multi-crew. It's not like Star Citizen multi-crew, but you can have multiple crew. Not as in you can walk around on the ship, but yeah, there are carryals. That's what you use to deploy the harvesters and things. Yeah.
In the deep desert, beyond the shield wall, hundreds of players scour the landscape, hunting for spice. Every spice blow has the potential to become a heated...
Dude, that's fucking cool, dude. Dropping a harvester off with the carryall, and then, just imagine you and your org, your clan, your group, you're just going into the deep desert, trying to hit one of the spice fields real quick, drop in the harvester, protect it as much as you can, get the spice and roll out. That's the gameplay loop, essentially. You have to go into the deep desert, find a spice field, get the spice before anyone else gets there or any sandworms turn up, and get back to your base outside of the deep desert to refine it. So you bring the refinery back, you bring the harvester back to your refinery that you build, and then you get wealthier, I guess. And I like that because it's, again, I'm not expecting mind-blowing gameplay from this, but they've figured out some of the loops that are going to hopefully keep you playing and invested. And the way they're building the game with the shards, they can add on content and create and add new content to the game potentially for years to come without really affecting anything else.
Battle, with multiple guilds vying for the precious melange. Even when it looks like defeat is inevitable. Those who
dude, if you can call... I didn't know you'd be able to call in worms. Surely a thumper would be some sort of end game weapon that is really hard to get.
Those who understand desert power can awaken Arrakis itself.
I love that they just completely recopied the scene from the movie. Come on, Jimmy, just hold me on the ramp just a little bit longer. It's going to look really good.
Those who understand desert power can awaken Arrakis.
Some sort of submachine gun?
Itself.
I wonder if you can actually do that or if that's something they've staged. Can I grapple onto the back of my friend's carryall? Insane that it's coming to PC early 2025. That has to be early access. What do you think about that, guys? I don't know. I did not expect early 2025. I think it's going to... I can't see it hitting early 2025 based on what we've seen so far. They've only just shown us the gameplay for the first time. The reason I don't think it could come early 2025 is because, they've only just shown us footage of the game. It's been in beta, I think, for maybe a year at this point. They haven't really expanded to any kind of closed or open betas yet at all to test the server infrastructure. There's no sort of... we haven't really seen much more of what's going to keep us playing past the first couple of weeks, right? We haven't really seen much of the... Obviously, the Deep Desert is going to play a large part of that, but we haven't seen any of the sort of PvE dungeons. They've said that there's still open world dungeons, not like instance dungeons you'll be doing in PvE zones. We haven't seen much of the late game building. The economy. There's a lot they haven't shown us yet, and I don't think the beta testers have had much either. So... I'm skeptical of an early 2025 release. In my opinion, this is a lip service release date that they will inevitably change. probably like Q4 2024. They'll announce that they need to let it cook longer. And my guess would be Q3 2025. They're not committing to it. So my guess is it's probably going to get delayed. It'll probably actually come out much later in 2025. But otherwise, I'm liking what I've seen. I'm going to continue to manage my expectations, but I do want to like this game. Love Dune games. Love the Dune universe. And I do like Funcom. I have hopes for this. Right, yeah, thank you for watching that with me, guys. Very much looking forward to seeing more Dune Awakening over the next few months. I feel like they're probably going to open up. They've got to open up the beta a little bit more now. They've got to get more people in. Gamescom, they've got way bigger pool to choose from, more people interested. I bet they're going to start opening up closed beta, possibly announce an open beta soon as well. Anyway, thanks for watching.